Good morning. So, well, I did see a few of us kind of dancing in our chairs. Thank you, that was wonderful. And now I'd like to invite you to stand right where you are. We're going to start a little differently this morning, and I'm gonna just sing a couple of snippets of things, and one will be a little slower, and the other one will be a little faster. I just want to invite you to close your eyes if you would like, and just dance along with the music in whatever way you can in the little space that you're in. Okay, here we go. So you can start to sway or move your hands or lift your feet, whatever works. From the longest, mildest day, from the sunlight turn away. Turn again in your courses, turn again. Honor the darkness with singing. Let your heart feel what it feels. Welcome the shadow, dance with the fear. Light and darkness, turn the wheel. Light and darkness, turn the wheel. Thank you, and you can be seated. My talk today is a ceremony to bless us as we move into the dark time of the year. In the Wiccan tradition, as you've already heard, it is Samhain. It's the time when the veil between the worlds is thin and we can connect more easily with the unseen energies and entities in our midst. In Christianity, this has become All Hallows Eve, followed by All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. It is also Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead, celebrated in Mexico and many other countries, also in honoring of the ancestors. The Native American and Wiccan traditions that I've studied both use the directions, north, east, south, and west, and sometimes above, below, and center, to begin and end ceremonies. So I hope you'll join me as we call in the directions. And this is a way of reminding ourselves that there are many, many energies and that get put by different traditions kind of in the different directions to help us kind of sort and categorize and honor all the different ways in which life affects us. So I'm going to use the directions that I learned from the Native American Sweet Medicine teachings today. And once again, as you are willing and able, stand, and I'm going to light candles. We're going to face in the directions that we are lighting, and I will speak. Craig is back there running the. Craig, is that on? Not yet. Diane reminded me to move the camera. Now I'm getting her to turn the mic on. So thank you, Craig, for adjusting the camera so you can see this. So we will start in the south, and everybody help me be right. That is the south. I will light the candle. I call to the energies of the south, the power of water and the energies of summer. Open us to your flow. Teach us to trust in the love that flows around us. Help us flow with our emotions in ways that bring relief and release. Feel them when they come and then let them go. Help us celebrate the power of the oceans and the trickle of mountain streams. Help us care for and support each other through droughts and floods. Help us ride, balance, and appreciate the flow of our lives. Blessed be. And then we will turn the axis of the circle here and face the west. Even those in the room probably can't see that we're red candle. There we go. I have to move it on. Hang on, one second. Thank you for your patience. I call to the energies of the West, the power of earth and the energies of autumn. Open us to your stability. Help us ground ourselves on your firm surface and protect ourselves when you tremble. Guide us into the deep caves inside ourselves with your gifts of intuition and introspection. Teach us to be at ease with your cycles of birth, life, death, and rebirth. Blessed be. Now we'll move to face the north. I call to the energies of the north, the power of air and the energies of winter. Open us to your breath and your breeze. Open our minds to the wisdom that can blow in and heal us. Help us receive what we need and let go of what no longer serves us. Help us enjoy the sweetness of gentle breezes and withstand the power of gales. Let us move joyfully on the currents of our lives. Blessed be. And the powers of the east. I call to the energies of the east, the power of fire and the energies of spring. Open us to spirit's illumination. Light our way, help us bask in your glow. Guide our lives, enlighten us. Help us acknowledge that we are beings of light who sit in circle around your sacred flame. Blessed be. I call to the energies of the center, the power of Great Spirit, of God, Goddess, all that is. Give us the compassion and the wisdom of the crone and the seer. Bring us together in love, peace, and harmony. Help us remember we are all pearls on a single strand. Help us feel the deep love that connects us to each other and to all forms of all things. Let us know ourselves now and in every moment as divine beings in sacred space. Fill us with gratitude for your presence in our lives. Blessed be. Thank you. You may be seated. So we're heading into the time where nature encourages us to slow our pace, to slow our thoughts, to slow our actions. I know for me as a working person, it was very hard to honor that. Now in my retirement, I have a little bit more flexibility, but I hope that as we move into this season of darkness and slowness, that you will be able to find a way, even if just for a few minutes, to slow your breath and to slow your thoughts and to allow yourselves to honor what nature is bringing to us. Wicca and other spiritual paths honor the seasons and what they have to teach us. We can learn to flow with the length of days and nights and the temperature. Some of us try to eat the foods that are appropriate to the different seasons. There's beauty around us no matter what season it is. There's so much to flow with. Sometimes it can be harsh or destructive energy from nature, and sometimes gentle and beautiful, so much to flow with. And nature is full of inner lessons. So finding ways to be in harmony with nature can create ease and comfort in our lives and can nourish our spirit. Many traditions have ways of looking at ourselves and looking at the world and learning from the different energies. One way that I do that is I'm lucky to have a screen porch in my house, on the back of my house. And when it starts raining, assuming that the weather is warm enough and I can sit out there, or I can cover myself with a blanket because there's no heat out there. As soon as it rains, I make a beeline, and especially if there's thunder or lightning, because I can see all around. And it is just such a blessing, no matter what I'm feeling or going through, to sit there and to listen. And it's got a metal roof, so I can hear the rain. And I feel enveloped and just, it's like nature is inside as well as outside, such power. Just when, sometimes those cracks of lightning, just like, oh, it's just really amazing. And maybe you can think of a time or some way in which you touch nature or nature touches you deeply. We're part of nature, and nature is in us and around us. Sometimes we like to think we're separate, right? We're people, and then there's nature over there or out there or whatever. But of course, there's no distinction. So it can soothe us and enliven us. And there are so many different aspects to nature. In the native traditions, they talk about the trees as the standing nation. And I know trees have taught me that you don't have to be, running around in order to be wise or to be helpful or useful. My goodness. And also, Ram Dass always comes in here somewhere, but he said, when you look at a pine tree and look at its beauty, and do you stand there saying, oh, I wish you were an oak tree? We somehow with trees are able to appreciate the way that they are, whatever that is. And can we then turn that understanding into ourselves and just appreciate ourselves the way we are? We don't have to be anything else. So take a minute. I'm going to just be quiet for a minute and just think about some way in which nature impacts your life. Thank you. And now, part of nature, of course, is the seasons. And you all know this little snippet of a song that Joni Mitchell created and sang for us. Please join me. The seasons, they go round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. So many things are round and many things go around, and you can think about all kinds of wheels in our lives. Of course, I thought of steering wheels right away. And then I thought of can openers and, and the wheels on the bottoms of my chairs that I can move in and out, and the wagon I use to haul things around, so many wheels. And of course, the earth is round and it turns on its axis and it turns around the sun. And so we have circles, we have wheels, and the circles make cycles. And the cycles are part of how we understand and organize our lives. So think about, there were things you did this morning that are part of your morning cycle. And probably you do every morning and afternoon and evening and night. And think about the adjustments you make for the seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter. We do things differently, and we count on having certain seasons, certain cycles in our lives. We're going to talk this afternoon, those of us that are here, about the cycle of aging and what that brings to us and how that changes us. And of course, we count our time on Earth in the cycle of years. So when we talk about circling the sun, how many times have you circled the sun? And some of us, many of us, have memories. Sometimes those fade, but those help us remember the cycles that we've been through and the circles in our lives. So there are many cycles and circles in different religious traditions that help us understand our concepts and understand our lives. Some of you may be familiar with Sun Bear's astrology, which puts plants, animals, minerals, the seasons, colors, many different things onto a circle of the year, and helps us think about ourselves and our lives and what we're doing and where we hope to go and how to be as close as we can to our spiritual divine selves, by looking at those aspects of the year. In the Wiccan, or sometimes called witchcraft, or sometimes called pagan, or sometimes earth-based, nature religion, nature tradition, there are ceremonies and celebrations for each new moon, full moon, and each 6-week cycle. So if you think about those, this right now is what's called a cross quarter. So the quarters divide the year into 4, right? And then in between, in those 3 months, there's another halfway point, and that's the cross quarter. So I need to look at Delith and how much time do I have left? You don't know either. Okay. Huh? Is 5 minutes okay? Are we good? Okay, I can do this in 5 minutes. All right, so really quickly about the different quarters and cross quarters, starting with the winter solstice, which is the next one, which is the longest night of the year in December 21st or thereabouts. And it's a time to sit together in darkness and honoring that we've made it here. Okay, and then as many traditions do at this time of year, we create light, we light candles, we decorate, we celebrate, and we rejoice that we are in this season of cold and dark, and we're here together. 6 weeks from that, approximately, is February 2nd, and you'll notice all of our society has come up with days to honor all of these times. So Groundhog Day, right? But it's also called Imbolc or Candlemas, and it honors Bridget, the goddess of poetry, wisdom, and protection. And it's a time to look inside and find the seeds that might be dormant within you. What are you hoping to birth when spring comes? What's waiting? What's kind of pregnant with life, if you want to say, waiting to be birthed. And then 6 weeks after that is the next quarter, which is, or they're all so-called Sabbats, is the spring equinox in the third week of March. And both the spring and fall equinoxes are the time when day and night is balanced, so equal day and night. And so it's a really good time to think about, how is my life balanced right now? Or how is it out of balance? And what could I do? What could I think? What could I meditate on? What actions could I take? Whatever form it takes to bring things more into balance. After that, we have Beltane or May Day, and it's all about, what's happening then. It's all about the passion of life. Things are coming alive. The air is warm, the plants are growing, the flowers are blooming. It's about creativity and sensuality, and often we've done it in here. We've danced around the maypole. Actually, we danced around the peace pole, but it worked. And so it's great for celebrating. And then after that is the summer solstice, which is again the Sabbath in June of the longest day. And it's when we both celebrate the daylight, which most of us love, but also remember that the day is now going to begin to wane. And it's a good day for feasting and dancing. And also it's a time of self-realization. So it's time to kind of look within again. All of them are times to look within, but it's also a time of commitment. What have you committed yourself to for this season, and how are you going to carry that out? And so you often see marriages this time of year. And then there is, not very many people have heard of it, and it tells me on the internet that it's pronounced Lunasa, spelled differently, as is Samhain, at the beginning of August, sometimes called the Witches' Thanksgiving, and it's the harvest celebration. So was named after the Irish god Lu, and who protects the crops. Then we have autumn equinox, and then finally we arrive here at Samhain, which is the Wiccan New Year, and we settle in, and we are going to spend our last minute or two with some drumming, and just to follow up on the journey that Janet so wonderfully took us on. We're going to take a moment to look for a message from our ancestors, and consider that there is nothing and nobody that is not your ancestor. The Native Americans have a concept which I learned as Omatakoyasin, which means all my relations. There is nothing that is not related to me and that I am not related to. So if you're willing, and okay, Susan's going to drum a little. Just close your eyes and allow your vision and your hearing to expand. And you might either catch a glimpse of something out of the corner of your eye, or hear just a little tiny something. You might not know what it is. Or maybe you just feel a little breeze or breath. And allow some kind of message to come to you. Whatever it is, it might be something you see, it might be some words, it might be an image of somebody. You may just get a glimpse, or you may get a whole message. Whatever you have found, bring it back with you as you come back with your senses into this space, into this room. So we only had a short time to do that, but I hope you will take more time for yourself this season to sit and just listen. Or sometimes I sit in front of my computer and just let my fingers type things. It's amazing what comes out. And I hope you will also, at the end of the service, we always release the energies, even though we don't call it that when we say the circle is open. So that will be our release of energies. And I hope that you will find, these Sundays are sacred ceremonies, and I hope you will continue to find other times in your life. I think it's so important that we take this time to honor ourselves and nature and the cycles in which we live. And may you feel the love and support of Spirit in each moment. Blessed be. Thank you.